Hello and welcome. My name is Ilya Tetin and I'm going to teach you business analytics course this semester. In this course we will explore a range of tools and techniques that are essential for analyzing data and making informed business decisions. And let's briefly talk about what you can expect in this semester. We begin with Python simulations, where you will learn to use Python for simulating business scenarios and analyzing outcomes. Python is a versatile language widely used in data science and business analytics, and getting comfortable with it will be crucial for your success. We'll study NumPy, powerful library for numerical computations. We will explore EDA, exploratory data analysis. In our next focus, we will learn how to summarize and visualize data to uncover patterns and insights. EDA is a very critical step in any data analysis process, helping you understand the structure and underlying principles of your data is really important. Then we will move on to Pandas, a library specifically designed for data manipulation and analysis. We will be able to clean, transform, and reshape the data efficiently here. Next, in the introduction to machine learning, we will cover basic concepts and applications for machine learning in business. You might already seen the introduction to ML previously, so this is just setting the stage for advanced topics. Linear regression and ridge regression will teach you how to build predictive models, understand relationships between variables, and apply regularization techniques to prevent overfitting. Next, in logistic regression, we will introduce you to modeling binary outcomes, a common requirement in classification problems. Alongside, we'll remind ourselves with classification metrics, very essential for evaluating the performance of your classification models. Midway through the course, there will be a midterm exam. We will assess your understanding of foundational ML topics. Then post-midterm, we shift our focus to more specialized techniques. First, we will learn how to parse data. Parsing will teach you how to process and analyze text data, while convergence will cover the principles of iterative algorithms and their applications. We'll explore A/B hypothesis testing, both parametric and non-parametric methods, to understand how to design and analyze experiments. So these skills are quite critical to making data-driven decisions in business strategies. Next, bootstrap techniques, which will provide you with the methods for estimating the distributions of statistics by resampling your data. This is particularly useful when traditional assumptions about your data do not hold. Finally, we study maximum likelihood estimation, a method for estimating the parameters of a statistical model that maximizes the likelihood of the observed data, and wrap up the course with the final exam, which is just the project defense. Here, throughout the course, you will have 5 activities. So the one of the activities will be the project, and the project will have 3 deadlines. You have to select the topic and select a data set in November. There will be an intermediate checkpoint in December, and final deadline in week 18, where you have to defend your project. By the intermediate checkpoint, you should have completed part of the project. You have to collected the data, conducted exploratory data analysis, and created some visualizations. You should also have identified the hypothesis you plan to test and the machine learning models you intend to use. Failure to meet these requirements by the checkpoint will result in a penalty. there will be some deduction of your final grade, so just follow the steps for the project. Okay, so the entire project must be completed by the final deadline, and you have to create the Jupyter notebook with a detailed description of your analysis, conclusions, code, and visualizations, alongside with the data files that you have used. If data files are exceeded 100 megabytes, then you have to provide the upload them to Google Drive and provide a link. The code should be written neatly, and let's talk about project a little bit more. So in the topic selection, you have to think about the data you would be most interested in working with. Consider what you want to achieve with it. For example, you might use data related to your thesis and analyze it. This step is not graded, but you must get your topic approved by me. Okay. Data collection, you need to obtain your data somehow. For example, parsing a data set from any source, or collecting the data from various sources, like several pre-made data set combined logically, will be a little bit less, will deliver you less points than that. So parsing a data set will gain you 20 points out of 100 for the final project. Collecting from various sources is just 10 points, or using a pre-made data set will be just 5 points. But if you use a pre-made data set and enhance it by parsing additional data, then you'll earn 20 points. Okay, so just a recommendation, but not a strict requirement for parsing the data. If you decide to parse the data, aim to collect at least 4-5 numerical features, several categorical features for your model. Try to gather at least 1000 observations there, and you can use data sources. There are vast repositories like UCI Machine Learning Repository, Amazon Solutions, Google datasets, Kaggle datasets. There are vast amount of datasets available, but preferably you need to identify the area you're interested in and try to parse the data from the websites. Alright, then you have to pre-process this data, preliminary pre-processing. That means you have to analyze the columns in your data, describe the variables, are there any missing variables, you have to handle the missing data. If a column has many missing variables, then maybe it's better to drop it. If there are few of them, you may fill them with median, mean, or mode, depending on your choice. Then you have to visualize, conduct an EDA, visualize, find interesting features. You have to uncover patterns, create insightful visualizations that lead to hypotheses and new variables. Like, meaningful is the key word here. Okay, don't visualize just to visualize. You have to answer specific questions by providing visualizations. All right, next step is feature engineering. Based on existing features, maybe you have to create the new ones. For example, a date column, you may extract the day. Is it a working day, a holiday, a national holiday, whatever. So this step is called data engineering, where you transform and create new data out of the collected data. After that, you have to test hypotheses. From your visualization, you develop hypotheses about the patterns in the data. You test this hypothesis using statistical methods, and the score for that step depends on how interesting are your findings. So maybe you discovered something interesting and unexpected, and this will be really graded, and you can boost your score by finding that. Okay, what tests can you use? Non-parametric tests, z-statistics, bootstrapping, likelihood ratio test. It's up to you. And final step is machine learning. You have to identify a variable in your data worth predicting. You have to explain what you are predicting and why, what problem are you solving, what metric are you going to use, and check the performance of your model, measure the performance. Then carefully split your data. Don't forget to carefully split your data into training test set, perform necessary preprocessing, train several models, optimize hyperparameters, analyze the results, draw conclusions. It may sound that the project is really big, but it is not. It's like the common pattern of using data, and the whole project can be completed in one day if you just sit and have the data and have the vision of what you need to obtain and how you need to obtain. So it sounds much more vast than it is. Okay, so besides the project, we have talked extensively about that. The midterm exam is a written exam. You just answer several questions on machine learning topics. Then there will be 4 homeworks, each homework worth 10 points, 10% of your final grade. And homeworks are really important. You must submit them before the soft deadline. There will be 2 deadlines, soft deadline and hard deadline. Okay, if you try to submit the homework past hard deadline, I won't accept that, and you just be graded with 0 for that homework. Submitting before the soft deadline is what you need to do. If you postpone the deadline, you are allowed, there will be only 4 homeworks, so you are allowed to postpone the soft deadline submission for one time. For let's say, if you postpone for 1 second past the soft deadline, that counted for 1 day, and you got a deduction of 10 points. 2 days deduction of 20 points, 3 days deduction of 30 points, and so on, up until the hard deadline, which is the deduction of before hard deadline, deduction of 50 points, after hard deadline, 0 points. Okay, so you are allowed to postpone the deadline once, soft deadline, but not the hard one. Okay, so homeworks will be done in Python as well. You will have to complete them individually. The group project is the group. You have to combine up to 3 students to deal with that, but the homeworks you must do them on your own individually. If you try to consult or talk with other classmates and share solutions, something like that, that will be considered as the plagiarism, and I'll check your solutions, and if I find similar solutions, then the homework will be graded as 0 for both sides. I don't care of who used materials from whom. All right, if you're using materials, finding them on the web, in Google, you must provide a link. And if you provide the link, that is not considered as plagiarism. That means that you have used the code from this source. Here's the link. Everything is clear. No problem with that. Okay, but if you find this source and use the code from there, and another student also finds the source and use the code from there, and you both haven't placed any links for that code, that means you have plagiarized, and this is just a 0. So homeworks are really important. Making the project is also very important. Just try to get understanding of how the real data analysis works in business setting, and I'll help you with that, and hopefully in the end of the course you will build a robust and insightful business analytics projects, significantly it will be a significant benefit for you just to completing that course, because you will get understanding of how the real business analytics work in real business environments. Okay, see you next semester and good luck.